Hello folks, and welcome back to Planescape Torment. We are currently in the ward, specifically the upper ward. Yes, I think that's the lower upper ward. I'm not too sure on the ward ranking. What I am sure of is that we've spent a bundle in the Curious Curiosities shop for a bunch of stuff that might or might not be useful at some point. But it's certainly interesting. Very interesting. We do have a lot more to explore around here, though. Well, let's do that. Thug Boss. Should we talk to Thug Boss? No. He says first get away. Phenom the Linguist, the short, scholarly man, a tight, nervous frown on his face, looks you up and down. Greetings, I am Phenom. Phenom? Phenom. That's a strange name. I must beg your pardon, sir, but I care little for guests, invited or otherwise. So unless you've business with me, I would ask you to leave. Fair point. I have some questions, though. Can be of help? No, right. So if we have a linguist...
All right.
Related quest, he might help, otherwise not at all. Well, came down that way. Have we been to the apothecary? I don't think we have. Pestle Kiln. See a wall-eyed fellow whose skin seems to writhe and ripple across his entire body. Yeah. He is smacking his chapped lips with a blotched tongue. Double yeah. As you watch, his right eye moves independently to the left. Triple yeah. Focusing on you. A second later, the left one flicks to look your way. I'm all out of yucks. Then reverts to its original position. The right eye blinks. Strange gurgling comes from his throat. Yeah, I think my entire yearly stock of has been depleted. Greetings! The man gives a lopsided grin and points at himself with his right thumb. One of those people. This guy. Pestle, I'm called the alchemist. Yeah, that's right. He pointed himself again, this time with his left index finger. The name's Kiln. Need you something? Yes, I need a bucket to throw up, please. This person is the most disgusting I've ever met. Are you alright? I am. His throat convulses for a moment, then relaxes. A large, green glowing pustule suddenly bursts from the side of his neck. Man. Subtlety is not this character's main trait, apparently. Something you needed then, sir. His throat clenches again, and a wave of quivering flesh swallows the blistering green pustule back beneath the skin. Man. He put it back into himself. Yeah. May I ask what happened to you? The left eye rolls upward in exasperation. The right eye looks askance. Too much to drink. Too much of what? So I can avoid it. Potions I drank. Too many potions. His mouth slides down beneath his chin. His left nostril forms another one. The most I ever drank, that's for certain. Of polymorphin they were, and brewed in limbo. Ah, that's why you're disgusting. You've polymorphed yourself halfway into 10 different things. Anything I could help with? Man's eyes turn inwards to look at each other. Ow! Then back to you. Dunno. He shudders. The mouth below his chin moves up to envelop the one his nostrils formed. This guy's like the Thing. This sort of thing happens quite often. We can't seem to help but sample the stock. If you find a way to help, the two of us would be grateful, sir. Right. Half of his mouth curls downward into a frown, shakes his head. Working the stockroom all day I do, he shudders violently. Suddenly a third eye pops over the bridge of his nose. Ow! The left one shifts sideways as the new takes its place. I speak only of the store, sir. That said, the skin of his face seems to eat the new eye, and the left one returns to its old location. Okay. See you around then. Do we have anything that could help? I don't think so. Yeah, well, I might go back to the Curiosities shop to see if there's anything of use there that could potentially help this guy. Probably not. Do you actually sell? Yes, he does. Ah, alright. Healing and charm items. Huh, nothing particularly exciting though. Do we have anything we could sell to this strange creature? No. Well, we'll know to come here later at some point.
All right.
Beautiful gloves, let me have at him.
Yeah, that's the moron. Thief? Ah, a thief? Let's talk to this old poet. This kindly-looking old man spares you only the briefest of glances before returning to his recitation. Now, let's not heckle him. Antase omayos what? Nastayen if ashirim will obras what? An alingual phonetic poet, maybe. Sounds like gibberish. Well, looks like gibberish. No idea. Zaman Sony. Ah, he buys electronic equipment from Sony, apparently. Let's talk to the thief screaming lie. This narrow, sharp-faced man is scanning his surroundings with a look of vague disinterest, pausing occasionally to look down and pick at his fingernails. Does he also pick his teeth with a toothpick? And scratch the inside of his ear with his pinky finger that has an especially long nail? That would complete the plethora of disgusting habits. Despite being clothed in silk and velvet finery, he manages to look unsavory and more than a little dangerous. Right, well, probably cleaning blood from underneath his nails then. Greetings! The man looks your way. His eyes are dark slits, like narrow stab wounds beneath his brow. Yeah, subtle hint. His voice is low and gruff despite his slender build. Bike off. Questions. You think I wander the ward looking for strangers? Why are you here then, if not to talk to other people in public. He stands quietly for a moment, then breaks a crooked smile. That's good, that. I am a tutor at the Civic Fest Hall. Name's Havelock. Eli Havelock. He should probably open a locksmith's. As a veteran scout, I teach the art of subterfuge. You mean thievery, then? His lip curls in a disgusted sneer. Thieves and thievery, it always is. 5 tours I spent as a reconnaissance operative in the War of Lies. Scout is my title. Scout! I teach the ways of stealth and spycraft, not common thievery. Farewell, then. I don't need to be trained as a thief. Scout. Scouting other people's belongings into your pockets. The slender man approaches you wearing a somewhat worried expression. 1,000 pardons, sir, but I'm looking for a certain man. I think you might be able to help me. Really? How so? I'm a messenger, sir, who seeks a man, it's said, that cannot die. A scarred man for whom death is nothing but the most trivial of annoyances. You match the admittedly vague description I was given, sir, and I wondered if you were he. Who would like to know, I guess? I am the hire of a wealthy noblewoman. Call me Surma, sir. What are we getting ourselves into? I'm the man you're looking for. You could always say we're lying. He nods, then bows deeply to you. A message for you, then. Mistress Sholmi of the House Surma, a lady of high standing, has sent me. Mistress Sholmi would meet you in the Civic Fest Hall, where she would make a proposal, of which I know nothing. To you, should you choose to seek her out, she wears green silks, trimmed with gold, and has hair the color of blue steel. So gray? Because blue steel is still gray, right? That is the extent of my message, sir. Farewell.
Updated my journal.
Well, we know where the Civic Festival is, so no need to ask of that. The brothel of sleeting intellectual lusts. Wow. Can't make anything add to the tinted glass. Tinted glass? How do they tint it? That's the most interesting thing about a brothel. Yeah, small mind. Ah, wonderful ambiance. Let's talk to Fall from Grace. What a heavenly look to her. Before you is a stunning golden-haired woman. Yes, even from a distance we could tell. Dressed in an azure and violet dress with 2 long, elegant wings draped across her shoulders. She is surveying the room with a slight smile. She is easily the most beautiful woman you have ever seen. Well, that's saying something. I've seen quite a few. Greetings.
Well met, traveler. How may I help you?
Oh, such silken tongue. The woman turns as you address her. She takes your measure and then nods slightly. You notice her eyes are azure, the exact same color as her dress. Color coordination. Right. Well met, traveler. She reaches up to brush back a stray lock of golden hair. How may I help you? Well, if we were Gimli, we would ask for 1 hair. But get 3. Who are you?
Updated my journal.
I am called Fall from Grace. Yeah. What's with people and their descriptions and these really not subtle hints at all? She studies you for a moment. You are new to Sigil, are you not? I suspect I have been here for some time, actually. Indeed, she says, raising an eyebrow. Well, yes, but that is a long tale, perhaps longer than I know. I'm more interested in what this place is. This is the brothel of sleeting intellectual lusts. Sleeting intellectual lusts, I wonder, She studies you for a moment. I take it by your question that you do not intend to partake of this establishment. Yes, what kind of brothel is this? Intellectual lusts. I established this brothel to give those lustful fevers that strike the mind more avenues of expression rather than simply carnal. Much pleasure can be had in conversation and engaging in the verbal arts with others. Oh, so like a geisha brothel. Without the happy ending. Continue. Sounds dull, says Morty. Shut up, Morty. The basest of basic communication and understanding. You would think that having only a head and no body, that would sort of disconnect him from carnal inclinations, but the proclivities seem to have only been enhanced with his, well, it's not really a decapitation, it's a decorpusfication. Continue. I assure you it is not. Tour the brothel. See for yourselves. Ah. Why did you establish the place then? Fall from Grace raises an eyebrow again. She likes raising eyebrows, and I'm curious to know which one. That is an odd question. No, it isn't. The first question that would come to mind. She frowns. I don't think anyone has ever asked me that, at least directly. Ah, so I see that this forum for intellectual discussion is where really stupid people come? Nobody has ever asked you this, really? I was merely curious. No apologies are necessary, she says. I'm more than happy to discuss the reasons with you. Yes, I'd like to hear them then. Part of the answer to your question requires that you know that I'm a member of the Society of Sensation. Ooh. Do you write really untrue newspaper articles that appeal to a sense of populism and anger towards others, and a lack of empathy? Maybe not. Our faction believes that one should experience as much of the multiverse as possible. Ah, so a connoisseur, that is. And that's why you established this place, then. The brothel is intended to slate the lusts of even the hardened intellectual. Hardened intellectual, yeah. It is designed to stimulate the mind. Not to ask questions, apparently, because if nobody's asked you that in however long this place has been going, is astounding. To heighten one's awareness of themselves and others, to create new ways of experiencing another person. Right. That seems profound, but it seems more like an euphemism on how many orifices people stick objects into. It is for those who seek something more than the shallow physical pleasure. Oh, I take that back. The shallow physical pleasures that fill the hive and lower wards. So no orifice insertion of any kind, I see. So this establishment just encourages intellectual fencing rather than, oh ho ho, will we have Monkey Island style sword fights? That would be the spectacle. Then, well, the other kind of fencing. The women here must be special indeed. The women here are aspiring sensates. They have come to me in search of instruction to prepare themselves to enter the faction. Also, many of them have a natural grasp of language that can shatter the crust of the most hardened individual. Again with the hardened individuals. Yeah. So they are ladies in training. Yes, I hope that by the learning the art of language and its subtleties, that the patrons... Art of language, but not asking questions. No questions here. Its subtleties that the patrons and the students here may learn more about themselves. One is only as limited as their command of the language. Right. You could have substituted that as their command of the tongue, and you would have a double meaning. That would have made a useful pun for this particular dialogue. Writer? Hello? Too meta? Yes. To be able to employ language to evoke emotions in others is a tremendous skill. Yes. Again, to be able to employ tongue to evoke emotions in others would be a tremendous skill. Of another sort. Potentially. I see. I have another questions. The wings on your back. You are not human, I take it? She's one of the fiends, one of the succubi, she is. She'll take your measure, then she'll take your soul to the lower planes, shows she will. Oh, Anna doesn't trust her. She jealous? Your companion is correct. I'm a lesser Tanari, more specifically a succubus. Succubus. Right, so I get it. Guess that your establishment has a bus. No, that's not okay. She gives a soft sigh. I'm afraid we're a little too common in the lower planes and elsewhere for our own good. Most of my race spend their time seducing mortals with the various pleasures of the flesh. And so you do with other pleasures, right?
Updated my journal.
I'd like to think that I have distanced myself from that. It is ultimately a trivial and non-productive way for one to spend one's time here in the multiverse. Really? So people never get thralled to succubi here? Because if they do, it would not be non-productive. It'd be evil, but still productive. There is much more to life, wouldn't you agree? Perhaps? Perhaps. Have you ever heard of a night hag named Ravel? I am familiar with the name. Fall Grace pauses and thinks for a moment. Rumors cluster thickly about that name, and most tend to discount her as a myth. But I suspect that she did exist, and that she made quite an impression in the cage during her stay here. She looks puzzled. Why do you ask? Puzzled? I intend to seek her out. Truly, I find myself compelled to ask why. Well, I need some information she possesses. And is this information available from no one else? As far as I know, she is the only one.
Updated my journal.
Grace rests her hands lightly on your arm. Consider this. If Ravel does indeed exist, then she is extremely powerful and cunning. If a fraction of the stories of her activities are true, then she is a creature that has discovered new meanings of evil. Like, synonyms? Is periodontist a synonym of evil? We'll find that out eventually, I guess, when we talk to Ravel. To search for her is not a quest to be undertaken lightly. So we should do it under the cover of darkness? I'm just trying to keep the conversation and the questions at the intelligence level you're accustomed to here. I realize that. Do you know anything else about her, Ravel? Well, she was said to be one of the hags of the Grey Waste, and that she was believed to possess powers and a cunning far beyond those of her sisters. She came to Sigil long ago, and in addition to the evils she committed during her stay, rumor has it that her actions threatened the cage itself. Breaking the cage. Now she primarily exists only as fiction, a figure in children's stories. I imagine the Lady of Pain dealt with her as all threats to Sigil are dealt with. The Grey Waste.
Updated my journal.
So how was she dealt with? Most likely into a maze. We know that already. Right. What is the Grey Waste? A blighted plain that lies effectively between Ba'ator and the Abyss. It is frequently a battleground in the Blood War. I see. And as you could have more clearly put it, but intelligently at least, is there anyone else that might know about her, or know what she knows? Someone in the fest hall may know more of her. I have some other questions.
Updated my journal.
What do you know about the Sensates? Sensates are a faction of Sigil that is devoted to experience. Without experience, you can't gain levels. But without sensation, we are blinded to much of the multiverse. Yes, because you don't have the level to find whatever quests and items you need. What? This is not a game? Oh, yes it is. Thus, Sensates seek to experience as much as possible. When all is experienced, then the truth of the multiverse shall reveal itself. Not really. You don't need to experience everything to know. This is a fallacy. Interesting philosophy of fallacies. Could I join the Sensates and, yes, expand the realm of sophistry in the multiverse? To join the Sensates, one needs only be a student of life. I see. Would you be interested in joining me in my travels, perchance? Anna stiffens, then starts muttering under her breath. Who's to say she'll be coming with us? We do not near the like as a her, so's we don't. Bar that fiendling! Morte clicks his teeth together. I'm all for the succubus coming with us. The powers know you're about as fun as passing a cantrip through your bowels. Yeah, Anna is a bit, heavy. You'd best let your bone box skull or I'll rattle you so hard they'll be picking your teeth out the spire. He has spare teeth, Anna. You're too reckless. Travel with you? Fall from Grace smiles slightly. She seems to be ignoring her companions. That's rather forward of you. Yes, I'm an increasingly hardened intellectual. Let's see, what can we say? Exciting, that's the way I am, you're a sensate. Appeal to her thirst for knowledge, or yeah, she seems pleasant and well-versed. A companion with that kind of knowledge would be welcome. Hey, wait just a minute! I'm the one well-versed in the planes. Not really, unless you're talking debauchery and, quote-unquote, the common sense approach to things. And by common sense, I mean idiocy. Having two people knowledgeable about the planes in our band seems pretty smart. Besides, I sound pleasant too, Morty. Yeah. Pleasant on the eyes, maybe. It looks to me like all some chit has to do is show a little skin and you'll sign her right up. Guilty as charged? Morte falls silent. Not that I mind that, really. Yeah, so you have no counter-argument. Yeah, you're agreeing with me, essentially. Noted, Morte. Look, Lady Grace, excuse me if I'm being too forward, but would you care to travel with us? I appreciate your candor. I shall canter with some of my own. Why should I travel with you? Aha. Now this is where we, put the, pen is mightier than, the hardened intellectual alcove den thing organization here. Surely there must be a limit to how much you can learn saying here, instead of, you know, experiencing things out there in the multiverse. I think you would be surprised. If you wanted me to accompany you on your travels, I need a far more compelling reason than that. Really? I shall find a more compelling reason then. She needs a more compelling reason. We'll need to harden all her intellectuality till it's so hard it's ready to pop. Yes, that was very subtle. Eve the Tail Chaser. The Tail Chaser. Ha! Yeah, it's a homophone but not a homograph. Tail Chaser. Yes, this fetching young woman has a faraway look in her soft green eyes. She has the 1,000-yard stare. She fought in Vietnam, most likely. Greetings. Greetings, I am Eve, the Tail Chaser. What a coincidence. I too chase tails. Yes, Marte. Different tails. Have you come to trade tails? Sure, let's trade tails. I would like that very much. Tell her the story of, Actually, yeah, let's ask her the companions. Morte! Do you have a story to trade? Me? Why do I have to... Oh, come on. Just tell the story, Morte. An elderly man was sitting alone on a dark path, right? Okay, this is stand-up comedy type stuff. Have you ever noticed that elderly man standing alone on a dark path, right? He was uncertain of which direction to go, and he'd forgotten both where he was traveling to and who he was. He sat down for a moment to rest his weary legs and suddenly looked up to see an elderly woman before him. She grinned, toothlessly and with a cackle. Now, your third wish. What will it be? Go on. Third wish. The man was baffled. How can it be a third wish if I haven't had a first and second wish? You've had 2 wishes already, the hag said. But your second wish was for me to return everything to the way it was before you had made your first wish. That's why you remember nothing, because everything is the way it was before you made any wishes. She cackled at the poor Burke. So it is that you have 1 wish left. So this woman is like the monkey's paw or something. Go on, Morte. All right, said the man. I don't believe this, but there's no harm in wishing. I wish to know who I am. Huh. Huh. This is about us. And the woman is probably Ravel or something. Alright, said the man, I don't believe this, blah blah blah, funny. Said the old woman as she granted his wish and disappeared forever. That was your first wish. Will we meet a genie that will tell us who we are and then we regret ever fighting out? And go back to the never-ending cycle of coming back to the mortuary? Eve smiles. An interesting tale, Morte. And now I have one for you and your companion. The Fiend's Game. Really? A fiend sometimes wandered the wilderness of a certain prime world in the guise of a friendly old man. One day, he came upon some hunters in the wood. What are you doing? The fiend asked. The hunters told him, and the fiend nodded. I have never been on a hunt before. Go on. Oh, no. Damn it. Okay, well, we lost that one, apparently. I'm no good at telling such things. I'm not. She frowns and waves her hand as if trying to shoo away the idea. Don't not be asking me for some nonsense now. Right. Just please share your story, Anna. You already have one tale and you won't part with it. Ha! Anna looks uncomfortable, her tail lashing slowly back and forth. Well, I know one story. She suddenly becomes angry, glaring at Eve. But you might not like it, you won't, so don't be blaming me for you choking it out of me. Such aggression. Go ahead, Anna. Anna scowls, then finally relents with an exasperated sigh. I heard a story when I was a wee lass. This Buck's walking home real late and I peek and passes an old toothless crone in a dark and otherwise empty street. Where you going? She asks him. Home to me wife and Kip, she says. Near the slag, she asks him. Sure enough, he says. Go Anna. Go Anna. So she asks him a favor, to take a box she's got the debtor's pit and give it to the woman there. Now this Burke's a real sap, too nice to say no, despite the fact he's sure something's not quite right about this old crone. Is the crone Ravel? And agrees. But what's the woman's name, he asks. Where does she live? Where should I look for her if she's not by Ditter's Pit? The woman hands him the box, a wooden thing, wrapped in colored cloth, and tells him to just go, and she'll be there. Finally, she warns him. And whatever he does, do not open the box. Is it a head? So he takes it home with him and hides it in the rafters, thinking he'll bring it by Ditter's Pit when it's lights out. His wife, though, seeing him hiding the box, gets right jealous, thinking it's a gift for a lover or something, and opens it up as soon as he's not looking. Well, turns out the box was full of gouged out eyes and severed male members with the hair still on them. Her scream brought the Burke running. He remembered what the crone said, got right scared, and wrapped the box back up. He went straight out the Ditter's Pit, and sure enough there was another old hag waiting there for him. He hands her the box and she says to him, "This box has been opened and look into." The poor Burke tries to deny it, but she gets this dreadful look on her face. "You've done something horrible," she tells him, then disappears. That done, he hurries back to his kip. He's feeling ill when he gets back and takes to bed. His wife bitterly regretted opening the box and all, but it was too late. The next day he died of rotting disease, and the first things to go were his eyes and stem. Anna nods grimly, her tale complete. Eve smiles. That was a wonderful tale, Anna. Wonderful? That was horrific. Especially the part about the falling off part. Now I have one for you and your companion, the parched land. Once a large village was struck by a terrible drought. Farmer journeyed to the worshipping stone. Like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom? With the Shankara stones, and again implored it as to the cause of the drought. He asked the stone why it did nothing when the fields were parched and dying, why the animals and the people suffered, while the stone did not a thing. Have we not given enough offerings? The farmer asked, begging almost upon his hands and knees, but the stone did not respond. It merely sat and cast its shadow. It's a stone. Alright, let's see if anyone else has a good stone. Dakon. He nods solemnly and says, "I shall impart the tale of Ali drowning." Dakon tells the story of Ali, a foolish Githzerai of myth who had become lost in the chaos of limbo. Normally, a single Githzerai may use their focus and mental discipline to form the chaos around them into a small, habitable environment. That's neat. Ali, however, asked so many useless and unfocused questions in her quest to return home that her isle of matter dissolved around her, and she drowned. Dark, fascinating, Dakon. Let me share with you okay. Another version of your tale. Oh, okay. Dakon looks attentive, perhaps a little surprised that there's an alternative to his telling. Eve goes on to tell a different version of Dakon's tale, in which Ali was driven from the Githzerai city of Shraktalor for her constant useless prattling. One day she encountered a Sladi on his way to the spawning stone. She hastily erected a wall of chaos matter, which even the ravenous Sladi found difficult to break down. Hungrily it waited and spoke to her through the wall. She asked it questions, and as she became more absorbed in her pointless queries and the Sladi's answers, her own wall decayed and collapsed upon her, and thus she drowned in the matter of limbo. So many tales, so little time. We'll have to do this another time. Interesting. There were notes coming up to the journal. Do they actually... No. Alright, we'll have to find Nemali. We'll have to... Yeah, split a person into two. Oh, we might find a thing that does this in the Curious Curiosities shop. Fat, balding man favors dressing in orange. Yeah, that's fine. We have to have words with Mar, right, if we find the guy. And find the Night Hag. Lots to do, though this place is fascinating. That is all going to be next time, however. Until then,